Hey guys, how's it going? It's Philip with Trade Genius. All right, in this video, I wanted to talk to you guys about a byproduct of NEO, which is gas. So, gas is like basically the coin of the NEO blockchain. A lot of people don't really understand that concept, so I wanted to just kind of explain a little bit about how gas relates to NEO and how the blockchain produces it, and then kind of like a outlook for the year on it, and then we'll take a look at a chart. So basically, if you're not familiar with NEO, oftentimes it's described as the Chinese Ethereum, and right now it's up there in the top coins and market cap. So really, I look at it as a basically a China play when it comes to cryptocurrency. So I definitely think there's a huge potential there for NEO, and in turn gas. NEO, actually is a bit more robust in Ethereum in that it's compatible with multiple programming languages such as Microsoft.NET, Java, Kotlin, Go, and Python, whereas Ethereum just has the Solidity programming language. But getting back to gas basically is the cryptocurrency or the coin of the NEO blockchain. So when you buy NEO or you have NEO, that's the shares of the NEO blockchain. Gas is the token of that chain. So a lot of people don't actually realize that. So basically, that's going to be what's used to fund ICOs. It's going to be used to basically, if people want to deploy a smart contract on the NEO blockchain, they have to use gas. So as distributed apps that are built on the NEO blockchain come online, the demand for gas is going to go up a lot. And so the way it works is gas is generated at the rate of 8 gas per block. And that is going to be reduced by 1 token for every 2 billion blocks that are generated. So there's basically this throttling, kind of like on Bitcoin, how it halves every so many years for the block reward. A similar thing happens. So every year you're going to see a reduction in the amount of gas that's produced. So that's going to create or make it more scarce than actual NEO shares, which is represented by the NEO token. So, and another thing is that if you do hold NEO, if you hold NEO, the shares, you're basically like helping with the bookkeeping of the NEO blockchain by holding those NEO shares. So it validates the work on the chain. So you are rewarded gas for holding those, right? Like a proof of stake. So you actually, if you hold your NEO shares in like the Neon wallet, you actually accumulate gas as you hold it. So one way you can actually look at the rate in which you earn gas is by looking at, they actually have a website called neotogas.com. And we can actually take a look at that real quick. So you could put in like, how many NEO you own. Let's say you own 50. And so there's a theoretical calculation, but then they actually look at the actual block generation rate. So right now you're doing about 4% dividend a year, which isn't bad. I mean, it's way better than a bank account, right? So, and if gas goes up in value, right now gas is $56, almost $57. That's a that can add up, especially if you start accumulating a lot of NEO shares or NEO. So that's pretty interesting. So this NEO or this gas demand would be fueled by distributed apps. Now this is all the distributed apps that are currently coming online this year. The first one was ADDX, and I like ADDX. ADDX started off as an Ethereum token, and they switched to the NEO blockchain. So ADDX is a decentralized exchange for basically advertising. So I really like that project. That's the first one, and then we have all these other ones coming online. So there's going to be a big demand for gas. It's going to go up, and over time, less is created. So not a lot of people understand this concept, but I think it's important to understand it. And once I think you start realizing the potential here, I think 2018 is going to be a really good year for gas. Now, the other thing is if NEO is able to, that platform is able to integrate into the Chinese government as far as identity, basically like digital identification or digital signatures, things like that, you're going to see a huge jump probably in both NEO and gas. But I think that gas can actually catch up to NEO in in value and surpass it. That probably won't happen right away because a lot of people don't realize the relationship. But I think once they do, I think you're going to see that opportunity. So I think basically gas is undervalued at this point here. So that being said, let's take a look at the chart. And this is coming off the bottom here. And so we've come up. If we zoom out, like bigger picture, right, this is about right when it got listed on most exchanges. It was listed on a couple of minor Chinese exchanges before it got onto exchanges like Poloniex and Binance. But you see, we haven't reclaimed the all-time high yet. But I think that's just a matter of time. I think shortly we're going to see that, which was 0.0063 in Bitcoin terms. So right now it's as with most alts, bottomed out, has come up. We've gotten like this pullback because most alts right now are kind of in sync with Bitcoin. So this is like the big fib buy zone here. So I think if you accumulated gas or you got a position in this area here, which is around the 0035 area, I think you'd be in a pretty good spot for a really good 2018 as demand rises for gas and it gets accumulated. So I just thought I'd share that with you guys. I think that's a good opportunity. I'd like to share those opportunities with you guys. You know, there's a lot of good use cases out there, and there's a lot of not good use cases out there in the cryptocurrency altcoin land. So I like to find those undervalued ones for you guys. Before we go, we could take a look at Bitcoin, and we're heading into the London European session. Asian session hasn't been really active, and you know I'm going to blame the Chinese New Year for that still. You know, our Asian sessions kind of in this zone. Generally, a good strong Asian session will, you know, be a little bit more bullish into London, but haven't seen a whole lot of that. It's kind of muted, actually, the price action. So anyway, but I think we may have one of those, you know, Fridays can be very bullish for Bitcoin, and I think we may see that in the next 24 hours. So we'll see what happens in London. But right now, some pretty crazy volume on this bar here, which is pretty interesting. But sometimes when we see that, price just starts to take off. So we'll see how this transpires. We're about just after 3 a.m. Eastern. So we'll see how this plays out. We did break this trend line, which I thought was pretty important. This is part of a larger inverted head and shoulders. So you can see, you know, on the 4 hour, that's a little more visible. Turn off this candle count here. But you can see that's a nice bottoming formation. And actually on the daily had huge, you know, this is the kind of volume you want to see on a bottom. This 2-day volume here, that's big. That's really big. You see that that type of volume on bottoms, and that's kind of what these numbers represent when there's a pullback. I look at like a 2 or a 3 bar reversal. This really manifested in 2 bars, but that's big volume. So that to me is a pretty definite sign that we're going to hold that. Just the way I interpret the way volume interacts with price. This was a pretty huge wick, but as you can see, the volume just wasn't really there versus this. So I expect this level to hold. You know, 8,000 would probably be like the rock bottom. But I think now as we get out of the first couple weeks of January, which historically is weak, I think we start building a base and we start climbing back out of this. This formation here is kind of what we call bull flag, and that's very bullish. The intent would be to probably come up here, test this level at 15,000, maybe reject that for a little bit, get back to the support level here at around just under 13, and then probably the next attempt back up to it would break out. All right, and I think altcoins right now, we were kind of in an inverse relationship. I think we're going to see probably more of an in-sync relationship as we get out of this. And then from there, we'll evaluate things going as we head back into the all-time high range for Bitcoin. So that's pretty much it, guys. Hope you had a good week, and I hope you have a great weekend. I'll get a couple more videos out over the weekend, and we'll look forward to how things shape up over the weekend, and take a look at next week. We'll have an outlook for next week. Guys, thanks so much. Please hit subscribe. That really helps. And we'll catch you on the next video. Take care. Bye.